this cross promotion does for Tyson Fury and even his fight coming up in February back in boxing with Deontay Wilder?
I think this is one of the things that is a continuation of him becoming a household name. You know, there's a lot of people that know who Tyson Fury are. There's a lot of people that don't. I think whenever you have an opportunity to reach a fan base like WWE's, if you're Tyson Fury, that's a massive opportunity to have a lot of people that can tune into your fights. So even if you were looking at it short term of the Wilder rematch, this is a massive opportunity to get a lot of eyeballs, say, oh my God, I watched that guy when he's in WWE, I'd like to see him fight. So the crossover appeal is huge. Same with us. The crossover appeal is huge. To bring in fans of Top Rank that watch Tyson Fury on ESPN, that are fans of him from a boxing standpoint, and pull them over into what we do and see the level of athleticism that WWE superstars have and the level of entertainment that they give. The same people that watch Tyson Fury because he's an amazing athlete, but also entertains them when he fights, are the same kind of people that will love what we do. The athleticism that we provide with the entertainment that we do. He's custom built for this. You know what I mean? I mean, I think in some ways you can make the argument that Fury's an entertainer first and a boxer second. He just happens to be one of the best boxers on the planet, but I don't know that he wouldn't position himself as an entertainer first. I think that's custom made for him.
What other fighters from UFC or boxing would you like to see in WWE?
So it's tough for me to answer that, only in the fact that the ones that have the passion for it. When this works, it's when they have the passion. When it doesn't, it's when they're just here for the moment or the paycheck, or if the thought for him was just like, so go there, I'll get some people to tune into my fight. And you know, he's a fan. He grew up a fan when he was a kid. You know, I watched him at the event. Even this week, we went down to the Performance Center for a little bit, and hit the gleam in his eye getting in the ring and stepping through those ropes and doing things for the first time. He was like a little kid. I saw that gleam in Rhonda's eye when we were at WrestleMania. She had mentioned to me many times, excitedly, about being a WWE superstar when I was around her, and I would be like, yeah, a lot of people say that. Then I saw her get the bug, and I was like, she's gonna do this and be great at it. I saw Floyd do it. I saw Floyd get the buzz, and he was a fan growing up, and you know, made his persona around what we do, sort of. But I watched him get the bug, and then want to do something, not come in here and just, yeah, I'll go in there, I'll do a little something. Come in here and do something epic. He wanted to come in here like Rhonda, like Tyson Fury, I think like Cain. Come in here and do something that the whole world remembers. Do something that when they leave Crown Jewel, they go like, man, that Tyson Fury thing was good. I wasn't expecting that, but oh my God, that was good. Or oh my God, Cain Velasquez, holy cow, blew my mind. I didn't know he could do that. You know, that's what they're looking for doing. When they're like that, then as a fan, and that athleticism and that entertainment that wins you over every time. To me, that's how it works.
When you mentioned Floyd, and you talk about, he was not a draw prior to going to the WWE, and then he went to the WWE and came out, he became the biggest draw in boxing history. How much do you think just, you know, learning to play the character and learning to do the things he did in WWE helped him in boxing? And do you think that translates for athletes like Brock, like Cain, and like Tyson?
Yeah, look, I don't know if it was learning what he did when he came in with us, but I think there was a moment in time where Floyd went from being Pretty Boy Floyd to being this amazing boxer to, like, yeah, I have to figure out how to make people pay to come and see me, so I'm going to create this persona like they did in wrestling when I was a kid. He was a huge fan. So he watched it, and you know, when I was around him, I trained him for the Big Show fight, and I spent a lot of time around him. I learned a lot. That's exactly what he did. Created a Money Mayweather persona. He was doing it before he came in and did the Big Show stuff with us, but it was part of a very calculated plan on his part to take the, you know, arguably the best fighter in the world, and I've listened to him say this: why do I make the most money? Because I'm the best fighter in the world? Arguable, right? Why do I make the most money in the world? Because people want to see me get my mouth shut. People want to come in and see this character. And if I play that character right, and you know, his idea for the HBO 24/7s, his pitch to them to go and do that, and it was like, you take these two fighters and you build a WWE story around them and you follow them over a period of time, I promise you, I'll give you a show like nobody else can. And on that character alone, you'll sell fights. And they did. You know, that was very smart on his part. Then he did us. WrestleMania, different level. Dancing with the Stars, different level. You know, all those things create awareness of who you are as a star, a celebrity, right? And being a household name. Tyson Fury, that's what this is a lot of it for him. This will help him dramatically. It's a crossover for both sides, but this will help him dramatically in that fight with Deontay Wilder or whoever's after that, you know.
Now, Paul, how did things come together with Cain? Because I know that you guys talked to him last year. He was at the Performance Center for a week, and now he's on board. How did things come together?
Yeah, so I think what I was saying before applies here. When I saw Cain before, he was kind of like, well, I'm interested in this. Got in the ring with us. We worked with him for a few days. Athletes definitely there. Showman, don't know yet, right? Because it's just tryout. But athletes definitely there. We're definitely interested, but he's still dabbling with, like, it's not out of his head yet. I'm gonna still fight, and I don't know, the bug's not there. So then I watch him, you know, when Dorian told me he was gonna go there, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to this. I see what he does, but I'm not looking at what the athletics. I'm looking at what's in his eyes when he's doing it. I see the gleam in his eye. I see that excitement of, he's having fun, right? He's digging this. This is something for him now that is, he's done it now, and in the doing it caught the bug, like Rhonda did. So then it was a reach out, and there was the conversation, and now he was like, yeah, no, I think I'm done fighting, and I think I'd like to do this more, and so you might as well do it in the biggest place in the world to do it, right? And so then that deal came together. Tyson was a little different. It was kind of an idea that was on the table, and then we asked the question, and it was like, yeah, no, I'd definitely be interested in doing something with you guys. Matter of fact, I have time right now. Anything coming up in the near future? Like, funny you should say that, yeah, and here you go, right?
So you actually went to Tyson first?
So years ago, there had been a reach out from his side to us. This was before, when he was champion, but before he had issues and stepped away. So there was an interest there, and we'd had some brief conversations. So this was just a reach out to say, hey, if we had an idea, would this be interesting? And the return back was enthusiastically yes. And enthusiastically yes, and I have some time right now because I'm not fighting again for a little bit, and this would keep me training and everything else under the sun, and like, it changes our thinking. Maybe we would think about this in a different manner. You're always thinking about stuff for this year, next year, the year after that, right? So then the pieces move around and shift, and so here we are. Once we got to that point, then it was like, boom, we were done.
What is it about you to get things done? You got NXT done. You got this done. You got Bruno to come back. Like, you're
Lucky. I don't know.
you're almost you are a better businessman than you are a wrestler, and that's saying a lot.
Oh, well, I'm glad you added that. I wasn't sure how to take that for a minute.
Hunter. I'm sorry.
No, look, I think just at the end of the day, for me, it's just about the passion to do this and the honesty to talk about it. Throw it on the table, see if it's there. Make the phone calls, have the right connections to get the people on the phone, and then just see if it's something that wants to happen. Some of them go real quick, some of them take a long time. Bruno took forever. There was a lot of baggage to get through on that one. But you know, I thank you for the compliment, but I don't think this environment, the WWE, the environment sells itself. You know, it's like having the best car in the world and going like, hey, you just want the car or not? That's really what I got to do. There's nothing special there. It's just it sells itself.
Have you learned anything so far from the Wednesday fights?
Say again? From
the Wednesday battle. I mean, what's your take after a couple of weeks NXT on with the opposition? What's kind of your take on how everything's going right now?
I'm very happy with the shows we've put out. You know, I've said this a million times. It's about us putting out the best show we can. I'm not worried about the other components of it. I'm not worried about who's doing what, when we're doing this, when they're doing that, combating this. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to put on the show we put on. I'm not looking to change NXT other than to make it better than what it was, which I've been trying to do for the last however long it's been on TV, 5-7 years, whatever it is. Every single show we do, if I don't try to make it better than the one we did before, like I'm kind of not doing a good job, right? Like you always want it to be better. Put on the best show we can. At the end of the day, this is just fans win, right? Like it's all good. It's all good. Nobody forces anybody to turn on any channel, watch anything, pick one or the other. Like watch it if you want. Don't watch it if you want. It's a great thing. And for us, we're in it for the long haul. It's what we do. Vince been doing this for 50 years. It's been longest running show, Raw, second SmackDown. It's a marathon. It isn't a sprint. We do what we do. And if it continues on this, great. It's all good.
And Paul, I know you.
Hold on, let me go right here.
Thank you. You mentioned bringing in Money Mayweather, and you had Rhonda Rousey. Now you're bringing in Tyson Fury and Cain Velasquez. As you're seeing people from other sports coming into WWE, do you foresee or do you plan on partnering with and having your superstars go into other avenues that they may be successful in?
Yeah, though it's a little bit tougher in that, like, what we do is pretty all-encompassing, right? It's a little bit easier. Like, you could say, like, okay, Tyson Fury's the greatest boxer in the world. He still is. We just got a big gap till the next fight and can do other stuff in there. With us, it's a kind of a 52-week-a-year thing. Like, it's tough to get out there and do other stuff, but that does happen. You see people going and making movies and television shows, and as those opportunities come up, we always explore those opportunities. Is it good for them? Is it good for us? Is it good for everyone? And if it is, we look at those opportunities. It's funny that when people talk about like Rondo or, you know, people like that, people come in from a lot of different sports. You know, Corbin was in the NFL. Strowman was a strongman competitor. You know, you have Olympic athletes and just different sports that people come through. It's been part of the initiative for the last, 5 or 6 years with the Performance Center and everything else is to recruit the best athletes from around the world. Because while the athletes that are already coming in as sports entertainers are already coming in, but how can we get people from outside of that? How can we get the best of the best, right? You look at the NFL and so many players leave the NFL every year. They come up, they play college football. A lot of them are massive fans of this. They play college football, they play a season or two in the NFL or whatever. They get cut, they're 23, they're, this close to being the best athletes on the planet. They missed the cut by a fraction of an inch on stuff. But they want to continue to be athletes and entertainers and do more. And this is a great avenue for them if it's something that they're passionate about. But like I said before, they have to have the bug in their eye. If they don't have that, you can't do this and be halfway. You just can't do it. You have to. This has to be what you do, and it's just because it's very all-encompassing as a performer. And it becomes who you are as a performer. It's not even just the schedule or anything else, but it becomes who you are a little bit as a performer, and it's tough to turn that off and on.
Paul, is Tyson a one-off?
Being a superstar like Cain Velasquez with Latino power, like, how does that feel?
I'm sure it feels great.
Like, right, that avenue and
we're a global brand. That's it. We're seen worldwide. So anytime we can, I look for athletes everywhere. I don't. It's a funny thing because people will say that a lot. Like I don't see that when I'm recruiting talent. I'm just looking for the talent. Is he a great entertainer? Can he? Does he have big charisma? Is he an athlete or is she that can do what we do? Those are the things I look at. If those other things apply, it's great. But like, it's not the first thing. Like, ooh, I gotta go find a Latino, or what I mean. We're in that market all the time, looking. When you find one, it's phenomenal.
Paul, can I get your thought on Rhonda's success? And she had kind of a tough ending in MMA where she lost the 2 fights. She was kind of unhappy with the way she was portrayed, and you brought her in and you were able to kind of rehab her, bring her up. What was the metrics? Why did she get big in WWE, and why do you think she was so successful?
I think what made her big in WWE is her passion for it. It's a funny thing. I think one of the things that hurt Rhonda hurt her. Her emotionally is she put on a persona to fight, much like what we do, right? And she grew up, and again, a fan, and kind of did the Mayweather, like put on this persona and what we did, but just went all in with it, and nobody could separate the two. And she was judged by that. But then also, you have to look at the human being of somebody that was, when you're a little kid and your mom is waking you up in the middle of the night by putting an arm bar on you so you can try to figure out how to get out of it, there's a different level of expectation. Second place was never an option. You know, even if she won, it was still what were the failure points in that win? So her the way she handled the reality of that and the theatrical aspect of that blended and became this mixed match of stuff that was difficult to deal with. Here was a show. Here she was eliciting a response. Everybody knew she was eliciting a response, and she actually got great enjoyment out of eliciting a response by making it like she was breaking the wall of what the response she was trying to elicit. It became this game, right? And she loved it. But also in this, it's funny, I had never thought about it this way. Rhonda said this to me one of the first times it was in this, I think it was in this building. She walked in one of her first shows with us, and she was smiling as she walked in the room, kind of chuckling to herself. And I said, "What's funny?" And she goes, "First time I've ever walked in an arena like this and not hated everybody here. I'm not at combat with it. Like I walked in." My normal mentality, and everybody's like, "Hey, Rhonda," and with the big smiles, and she's like 5 seconds later, I realized like everybody here is not against me, and it became this enjoyable experience for her, like where it was like a family. She had never had that before. Her instinct was to walk in a building, and every single person there was against her. Every single eye she looked at, every single person she ran up against was a competitor to her. Even the promotion, everybody. It's a whole different world and mindset that people can't, when you try to talk about this, it's different worlds, you know, and I don't think unless you've been through it, or even, even for me, I had never thought about it in that manner before. I was like, man, this is
one or two more, then we got to wrap
crazy,
up.
you know?
What message do you have for local fans coming on to SmackDown or watching on Fox tonight?
If you're here, you know, nobody does sports spectacle like Fox, in my opinion. Like Fox takes the entertainment component of sport to a whole nother level. Nobody does it like them, except for maybe us. So when we talk about that level of spectacle and what we do, we're going to ramp that up a lot with Fox. And you've not seen anything yet. We're just getting started. To me, last week was the premiere. Tonight starts the Fox era.
When you talk about Fox, do you ever imagine a world where WrestleMania will be on Fox?
I can imagine that world with a lot of things. You know, it's all about eyeballs. It's all about the right things business-wise. So we're open. You know, Vince will say it all the time. We're open for business. If they wanted to talk about that, obviously that's something we would talk about. You know, he has shown over and over that he's not stuck to one way of doing something. He'll change it over time.
Do one last one.
Paul, is Tyson a one-off match, or could he possibly come back for more stuff?
That door's wide open for him. If you're that level of entertainer, you know, obviously he's got a lot of stuff happening in the boxing world. But if the time is right, once this is done, and when it all depends on what level of fun he has here, I guess.
Now with Cain, you expect him for the long term now, right?
Yeah, he has a contract with us, and he's here for a length of time, and he's going to be a WWE superstar going forward. So it's now we begin this event, but also the training process and getting him up to speed, and much like Rhonda.
Is he going to do a Rhonda schedule, or is it too soon to know?
I think we're just kind of working through all that stuff, and you know, it's mileage, and even with Rhonda, when we first started, we were like, well, she was kind of like all in, but we have to see what she can handle, and you know, a lot of wear and tear there. So you got to see where it goes.